Happy Friday and welcome to Extol Live, presented by the New Washington State Bake and Cutter Woodworking. I'm Angie Fenton. Over my shoulder, we're going to be dishing in the kitchen with Liz and Lily coming soon. I wish she had smell-o-vision. I wish I could share that, but we have a jam-packed show once again. In fact, we've got several guests who are on standby. That includes Jacob Head. We're going to hear his beautiful, beautiful voice and his musical abilities coming up soon. We have Beth White, who's the president of Harvest Homecoming, talking what else? All things harvest. Plus, Paige Trinkle is in the house. It is a busy, busy weekend for the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana. You're not going to want to miss the dish with her. And then Josh Staten returns again. It's a big day in the city of New Albany. We'll talk to him about why. But first, we're going to kick it to Colin's Corner.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Colin's Corner. I'm Colin Wood with my special co-host, Oreo, a sweet kitten who was recently rescued by Zach Flanagan and Sean Laura from the Board and You, and now is my furry little BFF and a part of our family. Today, we'll take a look into what's going on this week in your Southern Indiana. I'm also going to update you on what's going on in the world of pop culture. This weekend, Charlestown is hosting their Community Days, a festival presented by NB Develop. The city is celebrating their community strength with a special focus this year on our healthcare heroes who continue to help us get through the COVID-19 pandemic. This event will feature vendors, food, live music, fireworks, and a mobile vaccination clinic, and it's all taking place through the 18th of the Charlestown City Square. Check that out on charlestown.cityhall.com for details. Now, tomorrow is the Monarch Festival at Mount Fest at Mount St. Francis. The popular event features a regional arts festival, live entertainment, and musicians throughout the day. Food trucks, kids zone activities, and an amazing butterfly experience. Visit sointoart.org for more details. Now, you ready for some chills and thrills? Check out the New Albany Wicked Walk, a historical tour of haunts, history, mystery, and mayhem. You can book tours and learn more at newaLbanyWickedWall.com. All right, now heading into the pop culture world, Drake's album Certified Lover Boy has reached over 1 billion streams worldwide in the first week compared to my friend Kanye West's 341 million streams with Donda. These two albums have been battling out for the last few weeks for the #1 spot, but I think it's safe to say Drake won this one with the most debut streams of this year. To be honest, I think both are overhyped and not as good as they could have been, but who cares about my opinion? Thank you guys for joining me for another edition of Colin's Corner. I'll be back next week with more happenings from here to Hollywood.
That right there is Josh Staten. He's back again from the city of New Albany. Josh, I have to ask you this. We were just talking while we were watching Colin's Corner. That's Colin's new little kitty, Oreo. Was rescued by Zach and Sean from Board and You. Do you have any cats?
I do not have any cats. We have a 80-pound hound dog named Cooper. And, of course, right now we're probably not going to bring any more animals in until Archie gets moving around and we just see how they interact before introducing more things to run around the apartment.
Okay, so Archie is now
4.5 months.
All right, and your wife, Jess, is doing well?
She's doing great. She's back at work. She's the executive director for Casa Floyd County.
Big deal.
Doing some great things over there. I know they've got some great plans to expand and continue to do some of the stuff they do. So
okay, so speaking of expanding, continuing the big plans and things, it's a big day in New Albany. Today is the grand opening of City Hall. So kind of set the scene a little bit here. I think we always are under the assumption that people know everything there is to know. And then there are people like me who were new at one point to New Albany. So set that scene of what City Hall looked like and where it is you're going.
Sure. Well, right now we're all in the city county building. So it's the big judicial building downtown. The Wrights building on Main Street, if you noticed it, you probably weren't too impressed with it. But it's been around since it's a 19th century warehouse building. It's been used throughout the years for manufacturing. It's seen some of the good times in New Albany. It's seen some of the bad times in New Albany. It was there when the downtown was suffering from some neglect and decay. And over the past 10 years, we all know that New Albany has it's really just turned it around. We've revitalized. We've got a lot of momentum going, but still that building needed an answer. And at the same time, you have a government that was growing, and we needed a home, a permanent home. We rent right now out of the city county building, right? So you've got a city government that rents in its own city. And so the two just kind of worked and went well together, and we had the chance to get in there and fix that up. And right now we've got one of the best city halls, I think, in the state of Indiana, in the area. When you see this thing, when you get in there and walk around, you're going to see pictures of businesses, pictures of architecture, pictures of projects we've done. You're going to see the hustle and bustle of public service. So it's just a phenomenal project, and we're excited.
Now, I know a photographer, Paul Younger, who has taken some photographs over the last several months, and watching it, I mean, that view of the Ohio River and how it was really incorporated into the rehabilitation and the architecture of the building. I mean, one, the significance of looking ahead and also retaining some of that history.
That's right.
I mean, that's meaningful.
It is. And New Albany does a fantastic job of historic preservation. We've got some of the best collection of historic buildings of anywhere in the area. That's compared to Louisville, Jeff, Clarksville, anywhere. Mm-hmm. New Albany's got some of the best collection, and a lot of it's right downtown. And we're a river town. You know, we are a river city, and we try to take advantage of that. And you're seeing some of that with the developments we've got on the Greenway, but also some of the things we've got right on Main Street. If you get up over that flood wall, you've got some really cool views. And this building takes care of that. But I like some of the views on the other side of the building too. So when you get in there, you have to take a look. Views right down Main Street. You can see the knobs. You can see different businesses. You can see people coming and going. So it's just all around. It's been a great project. Denton Floyd was the developers on it. They did a phenomenal job putting it together. And I know our team at the city, led by Shane Gibson, could not have been done without these guys. I know that, and it took the vision of the mayor and the city council to really jump on it.
Absolutely. I mean, speaking of Denton Floyd Real Estate Group, of course, is doing all kinds of things in Louisville. They're one of the biggest companies. Their growth was exponential over the past year. And I know they're excited because it's another project where they are rehabilitating and repurposing old structures into something new.
Yes, this is in their wheelhouse. They are fantastic at adaptive reuse projects. Adaptive reuse projects are not easy. You're taking a building that was built in the 1800s and you're turning it into a modern office building, right? That's not an easy thing to do. And it took a lot of different things getting in there and working to do it. And Denton Floyd did a phenomenal job, and their team, a lot to be proud of with this project.
Okay, I have to ask, Josh, I mean, because the grand opening is today.
That's right.
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
I mean, cheers, happy hour. I mean, the public's going to get an opportunity to actually take a look, not just today, but tomorrow as well.
That's right. There's an open house. There'll be a ceremony today at 4 o'clock, then an open house through 6 o'clock. And then tomorrow morning from 9 to 11, another open house. So I encourage everybody to come down, take a look, and see what all's been put together right here on Main Street.
And I know you're not providing happy hour. I share this all the time. I'm sober, so happy hour to me is every hour that we, have a moment here. But go and enjoy the downtown while you come downtown and see the city.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some of the best shops and restaurants that you can ask for downtown. We've got a lot of people that do a phenomenal job, that take a lot of care of their business. We've got a great downtown Main Street organization in Develop New Albany. So there's so much to do in New Albany right now. This is just another piece of that, and it continues that forward momentum we've got.
Have you moved in yet?
Not yet. We'll move in after the open house. Let everybody get in there and see. You
literally are moving in
tomorrow
afternoon.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're okay. What's the first thing non-work? I mean, because let's just be honest. You get a new office, a new location. I mean, we did it here at Extol. I mean, it was just kind of like, okay, this is awesome. I mean, you're allowed to share a little bit of excitement after moving is not fun. You find out who your friends are, right? But hopefully you all have that done. But what's the first thing you're going to do in a new office like that?
Right now, I don't have an office. We're all just kind of packed in that room. If you've been up there, my entire staff's right there. So one thing I'll be excited about is being able to move my chair without maybe playing cubicle dominoes throughout the whole staff area. But I'm pretty excited for it. Another thing I'm excited too is we now have a facility. We now have a place that when businesses come in town, when firms are looking to come in town, site selectors, developers, people that want to invest in New Albany, and their first stop is the City Hall, they're going to know that we take growth seriously here. They're going to know that we take our momentum seriously here. And this is going to be a place where a future investor becomes a community member. And we're excited about that.
Absolutely. Before we end with you, so tell me this. What is something anything else in terms of, projects that are going on that you might want to share?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of exciting stuff going on right now. I know we've got big plans for the Ohio River Greenway that hopefully some announcements will be coming pretty soon on that kind of stuff. I know that we've got different things like that. So you just kind of have to stay tuned and maybe have me back on here in a little bit, and I'll share some more news.
Would definitely love that. And Extol will be all over covering your grand opening. We appreciate you stopping
Looking
by
forward to
as
it.
always, Josh.
Thank
you so much. And now, if you love homes and all things Homerama, the only Southern Indiana design firm that is represented is Leslie Lewis. Oh, excuse me. It's Leslie Lewis and Associates. And coming up a little bit later, we'll actually see a video from them. But we do want to acknowledge that Leslie Lewis and Associates.
That's right. They were involved with some of the interior design for the new building today. So you get to see some of their work.
And their work is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, last question for you. By the way, I'm just going to throw that out there. That was a poor note from the producer. But what they were trying to do is make sure that we do acknowledge one of our favorite interior designers right there. Okay, Leslie Lewis and Associates. And I mean, they've done Board and You. They're right on the Board and You Bistro. They're right on the wall. City Hall, so lots of designers. You have a little one. Do you get an opportunity to listen to music?
We still get a little bit of a chance, but I think that time is ticking before we no longer have control of what we're listening to.
Okay,
right?
so what do you like?
Well, I still listen to a lot of country and classic rock. I grew up listening to that. My parents kind of, kept their own control of the radio for a while. Right. So I just grew up to love the Eagles, Bruce Springsteen, some of that stuff, and then a lot of different country music as well. But like I said, trying to pack as much of that in as I can right now before Archie kind of takes the dial and we.
Josh, I listened to Trolls, not two, Trolls 1, the soundtrack. Justin Timberlake's got that feeling over and over on the way to school today with all
just on repeat.
So yeah, get ready for that. But one of my favorite local musicians, hands down, is Jacob Head. I first saw him at the New Albany Farmers Market. He is absolutely amazing. He is here, and he is going to play one of his original songs for us starting now. Here's Jacob Head.
How long will I wait to let it go? To understand that you are in control. So many thoughts inside my head, I'd rather have your peace instead. Time keeps moving steadily along. The world is peaceful, but a part of it is gone. When will life make the next move? How long will I wait to hear from you? Oh, take this pain away from me. Take away my fears. You know my doubts and second thoughts. You've seen me all these years. It seems the time is never on my side. When the past, present, and future collide, I wish that I could just return to a time and a place with less concern. I wonder why we're born as who we are. Yet some will work their lives and never get this far. It seems as if our place of birth shouldn't determine what we're worth. Oh, take this pain away from me. Take away our fears. You know our hearts and troubles, God. Please help us persevere. if we'd only take the time to pray, we'd realize that God is bigger than all of our dismay. He made every single part of our lives, and He knows our heart and minds, and knows what will become. So trust the Holy One. How long will I wait to let it go?
I'm Randy Cutter, CEO here at Cutter Woodworking. What I want to take and talk about mostly today is the culture, one of my key responsibilities of this company. Attitude, effort, and innovation are our core values of KW. Within this organization, we got a sense of pride here. We have average tenure here is 20 years. We've seen people start here, retire here. We've seen people, their kids start here and working here in the process. We really enjoy the family aspect of it. It really leaves a lot of pride in the organization. And with all that, if everybody enjoys their job, the day goes quicker, and we're building a company that people enjoy working for and coming to work for, and there's a lot of opportunity for growth no matter what kind of knowledge base or experience you have. We want you to do more than just being a job to you. We really like for this, we use your ideas, we build off your ideas, the team members' ideas, to where the day goes faster. We're also building a company that's going to last.
Thanks for joining us for Extol Live. I'm Angie Fenton. Thanks also to our sponsors, the New Washington State Bank, and of course, Cutter Woodworking. We appreciate you. And we appreciate the fact that Beth White is here to talk about Harvest Homecoming. It's roaring right around the corner, Beth, but let's take a step back for a minute, because 2020 brought a lot of challenges, and that includes for Harvest Homecoming.
Yes, unfortunately, we were not able to have the festival in 2020. So coming out of a pandemic, it's been very difficult and a little bit of maneuvering to get us back and up and going. But we are so excited to have the festival this year.
Now, I love this. You're going to want to get your hands on the festival guide. I absolutely love this because you have a letter as the president, and you said through Zoom meetings, Harvest Homecoming was able to make it through 2020. But in 2021, you're back, you're live, and it's coming to you October 2nd.
Yes, the parade is our kickoff. So we're excited about our parade, as well as our college event student who wants to be a college student at New Albany High School on the 27th. But our parade is kind of our big kickoff on the 2nd.
Yes.
So we're excited about having the parade, and of course, hope we have a beautiful day and being outside and cheering everybody on as we go down the parade route.
I don't know about you, but I mean, I feel like we are just due for an amazing, crisp, beautiful autumn. And I mean, there's nothing like Harvest Homecoming. People come from across the country, and I mean, it's been voted Indiana's top festival.
Yes, we really are excited because we do have so many vendors that come to our booths that are from out of the country, out of the states, but we also have our folks who come. Yes. So they really do see it as a homecoming because people come in to see their old high school friends or their family. They have family reunions. They plan events, or people literally plan events around the Harvest Homecoming weekend. And so it really is a homecoming, and we are so happy to be a part of this community.
Now, I know you're in education. I have a little one who just started kindergarten.
Yes.
And I just noticed this, kind of light bulb moment.
Yes.
Oh, fall break coincides with Harvest Homecoming. So from one mom to another, can I just say thank you to you and the festival?
You are welcome. And actually, as an employee for the New Albany Floyd County Schools, it's very helpful because I have the time to get the things done that need to be done prior to the festival. And then I get to take a break after the festival before going back to school. So it just worked out perfectly this year. And so we're praying for perfect weather too.
Oh, but regardless, I mean,
it's there ready to go.
It's going to be amazing. But I mean, talk about taking a break. I mean, Beth, you have been a part of Harvest Homecoming for 3 decades. I mean, that says something. It is fully, and people need to remember this, fully volunteer based. I mean, these
Yes,
are
it
people who come together, such as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and continue. I mean, what brings you back for 3 decades?
That's a great question, and that's always a hard question. Sometimes it gets me a little choked up, but
Absolutely.
for me, it's about the community and about giving back. We want to give back to the community, celebrate our community. We have a lot of nonprofits that participate in the booth days that, their whole budget is met during booth days. We have kids that can't wait for the parade so they can wave at their favorite person in the parade or someone that they love in the parade who's might be marching in the band or in a dance. So I feel like that for me, it's just the fact that it brings the community together in a positive way. And I think we all need a lot of positive right now. And for me, that's what I keep trying to move forward to, is making that come out of that 2020 is to make 2021 just a great and fun year for everyone to participate.
You get a little choked up, and 2 different things. I mean, as a mom, I couldn't attend the very first Harvest Homecoming Parade that our daughter did, but her dad sent me a photo, and she is face down on Spring Street having a temper tantrum. And then finally, the next year, I got to attend with her. And I mean, it's a parade, which is amazing and fun.
Right.
And I was a sobbing mess because, I mean, you know as well as I do, you're not just going to a festival. You're making lifelong memories.
Oh, yeah. The memories, I have a scrapbook, and I know a lot of people probably do, their Harvest Homecoming memories. And I actually have a pen of my brother Craig and I. We're just 4 years apart. And in 1974, I actually have a portrait of he and I from a booth vendor that did a metal pen. And it said Harvest Homecoming 1974, and I've got like this psychedelic raincoat on, and my brother's got this really crazy hair, and I just cherish that, and it's something I'll always keep and remember. How long ago that was that we were doing Harvest, and my parents left a wonderful legacy because they were involved for many, many years, and so they were great volunteers. And I just have to say also, there's many people besides myself. I'm one of many, and it takes a team to make Harvest Homecoming happen. So I'm one of many volunteers who give day in and day out. And like you said, we're not paid. We put in a lot of work. So I want to say thank you to all the volunteers who help with Harvest Homecoming as well.
I also want to go back to something that you said about booth days. I mean, it's probably one of the top 3 things in life to eat your way through Harvest
Absolutely.
Homecoming.
Yes, it is.
But the seriousness of that, I mean, is more pronounced now than ever. I certainly didn't understand, especially as someone who was an outsider. And now I feel like, I've been a Hoosier and a Southern Indiana native my whole life, even though I have not. This is a really big deal for a lot of nonprofits.
Yes, it is. We have well over 70 nonprofits that, again, anywhere from church groups to KFC and Home of the Innocents have been in, and things like that. WHAS Crusade for Children, with Kentuckiana, so we share. So there's a lot of those, and there's too many to name. But I will tell you that helps them help the community. So without them having the monies from Harvest Homecoming from what they sell, they would not be able to give back to the community. And that's something we really heard in 2020, not only from our nonprofits, but a lot of our downtown merchants are so excited to have us back because it brings people to downtown, and it showcases all the wonderful businesses that we have downtown. It showcases our city. So there's a win-win for everybody in this.
So one of our long-term Extol teammates, he's our, JD Dotson does all kinds of things, but he and his husband and sister own Regalo right down on the corner.
Oh, yes.
And they love Harvest Homecoming.
Yes, they do.
And getting an opportunity to meet people. And JD's a foodie, so he sneaks out and goes to the booth. As a volunteer, I'm going to ask you, I know you know the question's coming, because I don't know that you all get an opportunity other than to step back and look at what you've done for the community. But if you get that, about 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, what's that one thing you have to do for yourself at Harvest?
The one thing that I have to do is probably have chicken and dumplings.
Ooh, that sounds so
Yes. The VFW does a great job with their, they're there on the corner right next to the Grand every year. And I love their chicken and dumplings. And so if I don't get them for myself, I definitely have someone go get them for me.
That's smart. Anything that people need to know about the upcoming festival?
As far as we know right now, it's an outside festival, so everything is on. Obviously, our food vendors will be taking extra precautions as designated by the Floyd County Health Department. We want to keep everybody safe. We're going to have a lot more sanitizing stations available throughout the festival, so people have that access to that. And we're just looking forward to having as many people that we can fit on those streets in downtown New Albany.
Your husband, David.
Yes.
And even though you didn't meet at the Harvest Homecoming Festival, you found love at a fair.
Yes, we did. We found love at 4-H Fair. Yes, when I was
that.
16. Yes, it's funny. But David is definitely my right arm as far as setup and tear down and getting those booths in and out and getting everything set up prior to. And again, that's what I talk about. That team, especially with the booths, is incredible, and it's very important because without that 20 to 30 people, we could not set the booths. So we always have those point people, and there's a lot of names, but he is the point person for that. And Blevin Sanitation keeps us clean. So we're just very fortunate to have a lot of great people that participate during those booth days.
Cannot wait. The theme is Roaring 20s.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have your attire?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I've got my pearls,
wait.
got my headdress.
I know you
I'm
do.
ready to go for the parade.
I know you
yes.
do.
Yeah.
Now, we have a reporter. Her name is Addie Miners. And
Yes.
so Extol's reporter is going to be put on the Harvest Homecoming beat.
Okay.
She's never been.
Well, you send her to me because
So
I'm going to make sure that I put her with somebody that can take her wherever she needs to go or wants to go.
I am sending her your way.
Yes,
but
please
if there
do.
is, and I love this because Addie just has never experienced it. I remember being a newbie and my eyes were open, and I've never missed one since, even though I missed that parade when my, toddler was having
I do remember
tantrum.
that. I think I was actually sitting next to Jason when
Those
that was
floats
happening.
just rolled right on while Olive was on the ground right there. But if there was one thing that you would tell people other than do go to the information booth, because Harvest Homecoming's information booth is filled with people and materials that'll guide you through, was one thing that you would say to someone who's never been, that's their starting point for the festival?
I think you just answered that question. I would start at the information booth just to find out if there's something in particular that you're looking for. They can answer those questions. There's particular food that you're looking for. They can answer those questions there. Also, our office at 431 Pearl Street is now open every day, Monday through Friday from 12 to 5. And we have a website. We have all of our email addresses and phone numbers on there and of the VPs. So if they have a specific question about an event, we want you to reach out and ask us. But we will do a lot of streaming on social media and updating things through social media too. So we have multiple ways that you can get that information. But, I always start at the beginning, P1, and I go up and down Pearl, up and down Bank, and up and down Market, and I see it all. So I would tell anyone that's what you want to do. You want to give yourself a good 2 hours to stroll through.
And come with an empty stomach.
Yeah, do not eat before you come.
Do not. Beth, thanks for taking the time. HarvestHomecoming.com. And like Beth said, make sure you check it out on social media as well. They keep that updated. Appreciate it. I will see you out there. I can't wait to see your attire on the parade.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, we mentioned Leslie Lewis and Associates earlier. They're the designers who are responsible for what will be beautiful at City Hall in downtown New Albany. That grand opening is today at 4:00, and the public will have an opportunity to tour. But our own Addie Miners actually headed over to Homerama to check out the only Southern Indiana interior design company that's being represented this year. Take a look.
I'm Tammy Randall with LL&A Interior Design. We are proud to be the only Southern Indiana interior design firm represented in this year's 2021 Norton Commons Homerama. We are happy this year to partner with Dan Perkins and Mason Construction. This home is complete with 6 bedrooms and 4.5 baths. This year, the motivation with Homerama has been the attraction of the old Louisville vibe. I'm definitely influenced by different design aspects. This house particularly, we matched up the contemporary versus bohemian with a little bit of an industrial vibration. Combining different mediums such as brick, the marble, hardwoods, metal, pottery-like materials is definitely a motivation for me. I love organic shapes, I love geometric shapes, and I love to be able to combine all those features together. I just think they just combust together to create such a great space. With this open footprint, this space combines an informal dining area, a kitchen, and the great room. So with this space, my jump-off point is always the kitchen. I was definitely motivated by the more contemporary design. I love the mashup between the maple cabinetry in the charcoal stain, contrasting with the natural color of the oak floor covering, definitely layering in the Calcutta quartz countertops with the pottery-like backsplash. The hidden pantry is one of my favorite components of the whole kitchen. I just think it's an unexpected area, as well as definitely a highly functioning space. The great room, although it's very intimate, it is a very informal space, perfect for gathering. There is a television in this space. One of the prettiest points, I believe, of the great room is the 24 by 24 polished marble natural stone product on the fireplace wall. The dining room, I'm infatuated with the brick wall. I just think it definitely adds that industrial, old Louisville vibration that we were definitely going towards. To me, the chandelier is just to die for. I love all the curved elements with the cord and the open bulbs. The in-home office is definitely a key element to the first floor plan of this house. We customized it with a counter height work surface with plenty of space with built-in cabinetry. The primary suite is my favorite room of the home. I'm totally motivated by the color on the walls. The dark green agave was definitely my jump-off point for the space. I love mixing and mashing the layers of textures on the bed. To me, the bedding is where it's at. The focal point of the space, mixing luxury bedding with down-filled pillows and layers of faux fur and textures and velvets, definitely to me just resonate a beautiful space. I always remember that a bedroom is where we start our day and where we end our day, so it's a highly functioning space, always designed with peace and rest in mind. Another feature of the home that I think is an attraction is the loft. It's a multi-purpose loft, which for this particular home, we've styled in a way that can house a sitting area for television and then also a desk that someone could read by or use as a study area. The floating shelves accented by the metal rods also indicate a space used for collectibles, books, or accessories. One guest room upstairs that we're happy to have been able to provide custom drawings for built-in bunk beds. Mason does a phenomenal job with their trim carpentry, and this bedroom certainly represents that. This home also exemplifies several on-trend components for 2021. For starters, bold wall covering. Take a look at this wall covering in the guest bedroom. The bold, bright colors accented with black and white is a true hit. The lower level is complete with an LVP product on the floor covering, complemented by built-in custom cabinetry with an island, floating shelves, and quartz countertops. The seating area is complete with a large-scale sectional, large credenza, and overscaled television, perfect for gathering. The built-in banquette is also complemented by leather chairs and martini tables. I'm definitely motivated by the more is more approach. I'm not afraid to pour it on and just make the most of every space. Visit us on our website at www.leslielewis.com or contact our office at 812-282-6606.
That was gorgeous. Leslie Lewis and Associates are part of Homerama. You can check them out. And like I said a little bit earlier, not only at Homerama, which is in Louisville, but also today at City Hall, which opens officially at 4 p.m. in downtown New Albany, and they're the interior designer there. But speaking of other big events coming up this weekend, we have Paige Trinkle from the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana, who is with us. Now, Brian Bell is no stranger to the show. He's your executive director, and Paige, he's actually out working right now, setting up the Monarch Festival at Mount Fest.
That's right. Yes. So he sent me in to talk about this lovely festival, and I'm so excited and thrilled to invite everybody. So it does go on from 12 to 8 tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
And there's so many fun events planned that we just can't wait to present it to everybody.
So let's start with this. So Mount St. Francis, it's just an absolutely beautiful place, but the Arts Alliance is collaborating. So Monarch Festival, Mount Fest, now collaborating and combining. There's a lot of partnerships that are occurring, and they always seem to be so fruitful.
Absolutely. And we're so excited that our sponsors were willing to donate to us so we could make this possible. And we're very excited to also collaborate with the Monarch or with the Mount Fest, because is Mount St. Francis. Everyone loves Mount St. Francis. They've been there in some way, shape, or form, whether it be a retreat or to take a walk there. And it's special to my heart too. So we are very glad to collaborate with them and have them host this event.
So from 12 to 8 tomorrow, I am no psychic. Reached out a few friends in the meteorology world, and it looks like we're going to have a gorgeous day. What are just some of the different experiences? Because I know it's family friendly, and that's important to the Arts Alliance.
Yes, it's absolutely family friendly. So we're going to have bands to start everything off, and we're going to have 3 bands. We're going to have a Cole Hollow, and then a family friendly band, which is going to present some of the oldies theme.
I love it.
And then we're going to have Eastern European themed band, which is Lost Tribe, and that's like a local favorite. So we're very excited to have them. In addition to that, we're going to have lots of things for the kiddos. We're going to have a bouncy house, and we're also lots of different bouncy houses. And we're going to have a butterfly experience, and we're going to have a release of the butterflies at 4:30. So that you can come and experience that until 4:30.
That's going to be amazing. And you are holding in your hands, and they look like raffle tickets for not 1, but 2 electric bikes.
That's right. So we have 2 Pedigo e-bikes that are going to be raffled off, and that's going to actually happen November 25th. But they're both equal to the value of $3,800. And if you win these, they're very exciting and amazing to have. They're just like the up and coming bike to have. And so they cost only $10, and you can actually purchase them now or at the festival. And you could do so if you just visit our website at sointoart.org.
And if you haven't seen, we actually had the opportunity to take some video of them. They're a lot of fun.
Yes.
They're amazing. And I love the fact that you could win not just 1, but 2. So you can make it a fun affair.
Yeah, absolutely. Add them to your family collateral when you have your bikes. It's great. It's a great opportunity.
Now, in addition, from 12 to 8 tomorrow, Monarch Festival at Mount Fest, you have been having once a month the So Into Art concert series.
That's right.
It's also Hispanic Heritage Month. And so your artist tomorrow is going to be singing in both English and Spanish.
Yes. And that's Joanne De Jesus. And they're going to be at San Pedro Park tomorrow from 7 to 9. So that'll be a lovely event too. So we've got a busy day tomorrow.
I mean, busy day, beautiful weather. But then last but not least, I think it was last night, I believe, is when I posted it. So we are on Market and Vincennes here at Extol, and the Arts Alliance is just down the street. And very recently, you opened the Monarch Educational Gardens.
That's correct.
And it's right outside. And I mean, I think it was something like 7 o'clock at night that my daughter Olive and I just stopped, and we just kind of walked around. The fountain's going. You've got the free Very Hungry Caterpillar books that are there. She sat, with her little legs up on the bench and just devoured that book and just absolutely loved it. How is the community receiving?
It has been received so well. I mean, I live actually right next to the Meg, so I can see firsthand how it affects the community. And there's always like a mother and a daughter, or a family member coming there to experience the Meg, having lunch there, just relaxing. And all day you see people coming in and out, just really taking it for granted, and it couldn't make us happier. We're so happy that we provided that to the community.
Well, if nothing else, I know I will see you tomorrow, and we'll see Brian Bell. If you see Brian Bell, catch up to him, because he's ripping and roaring somewhere.
Absolutely. That's right. Thanks
for taking the time. Again, that is the Monarch Festival at Mount Fest. It's tomorrow from 12 to 8 o'clock at Mount St. Francis. And then Joanne De Jesus is at San Pedro Community Park from 7 to 9 p.m. Both events are free and they're family friendly. Well, also family friendly is the New Washington State Bank, which is one of our sponsors of Extol Live. We are always so appreciative of our sponsors and our guests. And one of our regular guests is Liz Martino from Mesa Kids Cooking School and the New Albany Farmers Market. And I could say, I don't know how you do it all, Liz. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to actually put you to work. I'm going to do one thing. Paige, could I grab that microphone? It'd be a good idea if when I move, I actually bring a microphone for our guests.
Well, I'm not
here.
used to having the microphone in
well,
my
there
hand.
you go. Hopefully you're like we're picking it up, from my microphone. Now that you have one, Liz,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to do the introductions here to the one and only Lily.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I could say so many wonderful things about Lily. Lily started at the farmer's market was it the 2020?
Yeah.
Yes, right in the middle of the pandemic. She started at the farmer's market making hand pies, and they are some of my favorite. She makes sweet and savory, and 2 years in, she's not only just at the market, now she is at Mesa. She's one of the incubators there and growing her business.
So, okay, what does that mean to you as an incubator? I mean, most of us know what the word incubator means, but what does that mean and how has that helped you?
Right. So the Mesa Incubation Program has been so amazing for me. I love being able to not only have a commercial kitchen where I'm able to do more of my savory stuff that I love. 'Cause that's not a thing as a home-based vendor. But it's also, I have access to people like Liz and people like Bobby and Yisha who help lead Mesa, and they've helped me so much in growing my business and just being able to be a bit more business-minded, I guess, and have a bit better of an idea of what's happening in the world.
So, okay, I'm watching you pinch this. I'm watching you pinch it. I'm going to go ahead and actually switch mics because this is on. So if we're having a hard time, then I will. Oh, actually, Lily,
Yes.
can I help you with
Yes,
this?
of
I'm going to give
course.
this back for a second.
Sure.
Here we go. We want to turn this on. We're so busy
no.
making pies over here. It's a Friday. We're live. This is the things that happen when you're doing stuff like that. I'm sorry. I'm very distracted right now by this amazingness.
Smells too good.
And okay, I think the mic issues are good. I think we're good. All right. So I'm going to just make an admission here. And I do have a family member in the room. I am not a greedy person. I am a lot of things. But I will tell you that one of the things that I don't think you could describe me as is greedy. Especially having a daughter, I share. Lily, I bought 2 of your Ratatouille pies last week. I ate them both.
I do the same thing.
I ate them. If you can see underneath this, I'm actually blushing. I ate them both. I didn't even share with my family. I ate one of these and it was so good. I ate the whole other thing. I'm sorry, Olive and Jason. I'm really sorry. It was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal. I'm coming back to your booth. So what
Good.
is that secret?
Yeah, so our Ratatouille hand pies have always been pretty popular since we debuted them. They are all vegetarian. It's got eggplant, yellow squash, zucchini, tomatoes. It's got fresh herbs and a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And I think that balsamic vinegar is what just totally kicks it over
That's
the
what
edge.
you're making right
Yeah,
now.
and that's what
I
we're
know.
doing right now.
So look out, Extol team. I will try to share this time.
I never share. I eat them in my car, and I don't tell a soul.
See, there are only 2 things that I've ever really done. Okay, so pickles. If you've ever seen me, I have been known to open the jar of pickles in the car outside of the grocery store and maybe drink a little bit of juice. This is like Confession Friday. And then I ate the pies that I purchased at your vendor booth. But you also know this. I've talked about I've gone vegan for health reasons.
Yes.
I made a little exception because I know it's vegetarian, not vegan, and I don't regret it. No regrets whatsoever. Lily, what else do you have over here?
Well, yeah. So thankfully today we also do vegan stuff. We make concessions for most dietary restrictions.
Absolutely, you do.
So if you go to our website, you can order almost any of our things: vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, all that fun stuff.
I know, but
So-
don't change that Ratatouille. I will go vegetarian from vegan any day for that. Exactly the way that
Thank
it was.
you. Yeah, so over here, we've actually got our vegan, gluten-free spiced pear pie today. So as you know, as it's September, it's middle of September, we're kind of on that track of like, is it summer? Is it fall? So this week our menu is really kind of straddling that line. You might know we change our menu up every week. So we're always debuting some new recipes, and we love a good theme.
Can we, before we even
Absolutely.
cut that, I mean, Liz, you have been in this business. I mean, look at that crust.
It's gorgeous.
I just eat it, but you guys are like the true masters at this. It is gorgeous, isn't it?
Well, I really don't eat a lot of like flour and gluten. So this is a treat for me. And that's one of my favorite things about every single one of your items is the crust. It is so good. It is one of the best pie crusts I've ever had.
So, okay,
Yeah.
Lily,
Yes.
as you are going ahead
Yeah,
and
we're going to
cutting,
cut into that.
you have the cutest website. How did you come up with your name?
Yeah, so Hoosier Girl Pie actually started back 3 years ago. It was 2019, and I was getting ready to start my senior year of college. I was home for the summer, and I decided that I wanted to bake my way through a cookbook. Let's see if this will work. I usually don't cut my pies when they're still hot, but
The first piece is
No
always
pressure,
the
no
sacrifice.
pressure.
it's okay. It's okay. It's still going to taste good, even if it's not the prettiest. But Hoosier Girl Pie was born because I wanted to bake my way through a cookbook, and that cookbook was Hoosier Mama Book of Pie. And the Hoosier Mama Pie Company is actually up in Chicago. They are super amazing. I baked my way through the entire book. It was over 100 pies in 1 year. It was a choice by far, but it was a great opportunity, and I was like, oh, what's something that can kind of be Hoosier Mama, but still me? And so Hoosier Girl Pie was born.
You also have some pictures on the website of
Yes.
some of your team members. Who else is on
Yeah,
there?
so my team is actually my family. So there's my mom, there's my grandmother, who we always say kind of taught me a lot of stuff. She's an amazing woman, and she helps me in Mesa most times. We consider my dad is also part of our team. He's one of my pie boys. And then my other pie guy is actually my boyfriend, Duncan. He is amazing. He's an actor in the local area as well. And so he's super helpful. And I love having just, as long as you have people you love, you're going to make things that you love, and then you can taste the love in our baked goods. And that's what we want.
Trust me, I tasted and I took and I ate all of the love last Saturday. So now I need to go back. Ratatouille is one of my daughter's favorites, so I need to go back and I need to buy some more pies tomorrow. People can find you at the New Albany's Farmers Market.
Yes, you can find me at the New Albany Farmers Market from 8 to 12 on Saturdays. You can also find me at the Jeffersonville Farmers Market, which is at the base of the Big Four Bridge. And if you aren't available on Saturday mornings, you can always come pick up at Mesa by ordering on my website.
Now, in just a second, we're going to toss it here. Liz, you know New Albany's Farmers Market is hands down one of my favorite things to do.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. And one of my favorite aspects about that is on occasion, you will have singers that just really speak to your soul. I mean, you always have a variety, but we all have our own individual tastes. One of my favorites that literally stopped me in my tracks is Jacob Head.
He is this season's new favorite. He comes every Saturday just about from about 10 to 12 and just plays every instrument that you can imagine, sings, and brings a whole different vibe to the market that really I don't think has ever been there before. I love it.
Well, I do too. He's going to actually sing one of our favorite songs coming up here in just a moment, but we have Extol reporter Addie Miners in what we like to call our music box with Jacob Head.
That's right, Angie. I am over here with Jacob Head in the music box, but he's not at the New Albany Farmers Market today. You're over here with us. So, Jacob, Angie has had a lot of praise, so has Liz, for your music and what you do. So how did you really get started into music, and what kept you going all of this time?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all of you all for having me on the show this morning. It's been a treat for me to just hear about everything going on in the area. I'm originally from the other side of the river, grew up in Louisville, and moved over here after getting married. So I'm still learning the Indiana side of things. But I actually my parents bought me a full-size set of drums for Christmas when I was 5, and that was really my first real instrument introduction. They got tired of me beating on Christmas popcorn tins and pots and pans, and my dad still plays those drums every weekend at our church. So my first instrument that I still play today is the violin. I started playing that in 4th grade and got into the orchestras over in JCPS school district, and got to play an hour every day with my classmates and learned a lot of cool pieces, and went through the school system through middle school, high school, got in some choir experience over at Atherton High School, and then ended up going to the University of Louisville for music. So I kind of got started and didn't stop.
Well, that's the kind of passion that people love. And I'm sure your parents were very happy when you switched from the drums to the violin. It's a little bit more of a soothing instrument than the drums. But I guess if you're good,
Right, yeah. I teach violin, and it can be a very difficult instrument to start off with. I have some very ambitious students who stick with it, along with other instruments that I teach. But I think when I went into middle school, I had to make the decision, do I want to go with drums and go with band, or do I want to go with violin and do orchestra? And I chose to do orchestra, and it panned out for me. I don't know if I had chosen drums, if it would have panned out, in a whole different world, but I really like where things ended up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now you teach and you do music therapy. So what exactly is music therapy?
So music therapy, something that I didn't know about when I first went to University of Louisville. It was kind of a newer field, even though it's been around for decades. But basically, it is using music to address non-musical goals. So a lot of the people and individuals that I see have some sort of special needs or autism or some kind of goal that they needed help addressing and working on. And music can kind of be that reward stimulus or that thing that kind of helps them address that goal, whether it be speech goals or language goals or movement, extending range of motion, things like that. Or even just like, emotional goals. A lot of people think of therapy and they think of, that emotional connection, and that's part of it too. I think it all just depends on the individual and the client and what their needs are.
Absolutely. Well, I know this is a treat for Angie. The song that you're about to play right now is one of her favorite songs. This is one of my mom's favorite songs too. So why don't you go ahead and take it away and play us a song?
Okay.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift. The barefoot king composing hallelujah. 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 Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. 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 But baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. You know, I used to live alone before I knew ya. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Well, there was a time when you let me know what's really going on below. But now you never show that to me, do ya? But remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. 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 Well, maybe there's a God above, But all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Quick question for you. You think I could take all of these nails, there's 20 of them, and balance them right on top of this one without them crashing down everywhere here in the Hooked on Science lab? Uh-oh, my toes. Should I be concerned? Of course not, because I'm going to use science. First and foremost, check it out. See how I have strategically placed the nails. I'm going to carefully pick up all of the nails at once. Take this nail, set it in the center of the lab desk, and then place it right on top. It's working! Thanks to science! We have balance forces acting on the nails. Gravity is pulling down equally everywhere. We have air in the room that's not pushing too hard on one side versus the other. Everything's balanced, and it works. High five for science. For Hooked on Science, I'm Jason Lindsay.
Oh, is it only us who gets to hear the music? I'm glad it wasn't just me. Thanks so much for joining us for Extol Live. Jacob Head will be at the New Albany Farmers Market. That's tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. We have Monarch Festival at Mount Fest tomorrow from 12 to 8 at Mount St. Francis, as well as Joanne De Jesus and her band from 7 to 9 p.m. at Sam Petum Community Park. That's right here. Also, lots of stuff going on in New Albany as well. Lily, you will be at the New Albany Farmers Market, Jeffersonville Farmers Market. People can find you online, website.
Yes, www.who'syourgirlpie.com.
Okay, who's your girl pie right here? That's what I want to know. I already made my Friday confession that yes, I ate all the Ratatouille pies that I bought from you before I even got to my house, my family. Oh, I'm so ashamed. I'm not. I have zero regrets. Zero. Mama works hard, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But what do you have over here?
Yeah, so out here we've got our apple bourbon bacon jam hand pies.
Oh.
We've got, of course, that spiced pear vegan gluten-free pie that I was talking about earlier. We've got those Ratatouille hand pies fresh out of the oven right there. And then this little one in front that goes with our theme this week. We're basing it off of Taco Walk this week. So it is a chocolate chili almond cream pie.
I mean, I just made a face and I could feel it on my face, just like, it's over. It's all over. Well, you all enjoy. Addie, you two, Liz, let's talk Taco Walk really quickly. That's tomorrow. We're going to see people walking around eating lots and lots of tacos.
I was just thinking about all the shameless plugs I have to talk about. Tomorrow at the Farmers Market, you can sign, the Taco Walk starts at the Farmers Market, which is really exciting, but that's not the only thing that's happening, if I can say something real quick.
Absolutely.
We have Taj Mullins at the market, and he is doing a book signing and talking about his new book that's coming out. He's a local children's author for There's a Moose on the Loose. We also have Abby Newton coming to do a free yoga class for all levels. Everybody's welcome. Just bring your mat from 8:30 to 9:30 right at the market. And then after all that, it's going to be ready for Taco Walk. So get your exercise, get a book signed, and then eat tacos.
or just eat your Ratatouille without your family. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Drop your kids off at Mesa Kids, and then you can have your pie by yourself.
Thumbs up. I mean, amazing. Okay, Addie says really good. Again, thanks so much for joining us for Extol Live. We'll be back again next Friday at 11 a.m. And the clock is ticking for actually our actual TV show coming October 2nd. We'll have more on that coming up next week. We're just going to say goodbye, though, in the way that we know how, with a Furry Friday. Meow. Have a great weekend.